The Trump pump has begun, and Monday is a great day for a little bit of continuation here, as Monday has been the most likely day to close positively for Bitcoin, especially in the last about year. So we're going to be revisiting a few setups on top of that, what to essentially expect and how the last couple of days here has essentially changed around the overall picture. Remember, on this channel, we have been having a general sort of idea that if Bitcoin failed to move to new lows sometime last week, then we're going to naturally, just by time, start to turn around and be bullish. And that time has now transpired. In fact, it's very bizarre to see, the assassination attempt happen in like a more sincere tone, because that does correlate well, or incredibly well, with kind of what's going on right now. And it does really seem to me that in the background of this market, Trump, whether you like him or not, is going to be considered, generally good for markets, especially good for crypto, as he has kind of come out to be the crypto president, which who knows how much he actually supports it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about that. It matters about the perception. And with the perception now leaning towards a very likely Trump victory, well, it looks like he's going to pump our bags. In fact, Elsa was very, very sad, by the way. She was very sad to hear that someone tried to assassinate her favorite president. She couldn't understand why. Why would anyone want to do this? In fact, we're thinking about maybe even going back to America if he does indeed win, which I'm curious if people in this community do have any sort of recommendations for a good state to go to, somewhere warmer in the winter. Anyways, let's just jump right into the Monday statistics right on over here. Definitely going to piss off like half the people by saying that, but it's good for the bags. Anyways, looking at Monday, we can see that Monday has been the most likely day to close positively, probabilistically speaking, with almost 68% of all Mondays since the year began closing positively for one of the highest returns of the weekdays, positive returns, I should say, at about almost 3.5%. And as you can see over here, we've actually put this into a quant automation setup, the quant automation that you can see right on over here. And we backtested it and seen these results over the past over 6 years now, or actually close to 6 years. And just by opening a position on Monday and then closing that position actually Tuesday at 10 a.m. is where this particular study is being marked from. You can actually see a slew of losses right here. But long term, it has provided positive gains, which is very, very interesting to me. It does suggest that flows are a real thing, which, I mean, obviously flows are a real thing, but it does seem that Monday favors the bullish flows, which kind of does make sense, especially now with more traditional market money managers getting involved in this business. A lot of their orders going to they just do it on Monday. I mean, the Monday buyers is what we used to say. Anyways, in this case, we can all see the performance summary of this. The expected average gain, the average winning trade, was just under 4%, about 3 3/4. So taking that from today's open to where we are currently at, I think we've already seen about that move. Let's just double check. So perhaps we have seen maybe the high, or likely the closing high for Monday. Sorry, I take that back. Bitcoin is only about 2.80% up from today's open. So if we were to go closer to the average, 375, that would put Bitcoin in mid $63,000 territory. So do be aware of that. Probably a likely boundary for today, or at least, probably closer to the closing price of today. So if Bitcoin does trade higher than that, maybe a little bit of scalp play right there. But ultimately, Monday doing what Monday needs to do. Anyways, moving on from there, we did also see, actually, we've seen several of these, but we did see a Bitcoin meta signal setup. This one came sometime last week. Yeah, end of last week, basically, at $57,000, hitting target 2 right here. Technically, there is a third target on this one. It is a low probability, and you can obviously see why. I mean, it's nearly $72,000. I think that's like either high 20% probability or low 30% probability. But just perusing meta signals, they've actually fired off a ton of these of what they consider actually perfect signals, which is the power to the one power. Power one, or one power, I don't know. Anyways, you can see several of these actually firing off in the past week here on all sorts of nameless and who knows what the fuck shit coins exist out there in the world. But yeah, a lot of these things actually taking a nice leg up based off this last event. I mean, you might even call this like a white swan event in history, depending upon how high things get from here. But I do want to present a few more things on top of that, because not only do we have these things going on in the short term, but if we go over here to the more long term, the monthly, which was a concern at the beginning of this month when Bitcoin was dumping well below that red 5 exponential moving average, is now is now actually above it. It's green. It's green. It's green, crazy, which is currently at 61,620. So again, the general rule that we've been having on this channel for long term is that, look, as long as Bitcoin's closing monthlies above the 5 exponential, it's bull market on. It's not like it's like bull market on with pressure on, is what I'm trying to say. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but it is going to be generally good throughout the history of Bitcoin. And as long as Bitcoin's above it, generally better to be erring on the side of long-term continuation to the upside. So this is really starting to shape up to be the next sort of major low, as we spoke about over the past few days. We're just getting another confirming factor here with Bitcoin back above 62,000 bucks. Not only that, but with Bitcoin back above 62, we do have to remember, or where's my damn charts over here? Oh my God, I forgot to put it on. Holy shit. I done goofed. Hold on just one moment here. I do want to go back to the volatility versus stochastic momentum setup, because the 5-day time frame is also going to potentially turn up with any sort of a closure here or higher in the next 5-day period. I mean, 62,250 is the new pivot. It's not coming for another 3.5 days. So it's got a long way left to go, but this is actually going to be very, very interesting and really increase the likelihood that we kind of get a repeat of last summer, actually, where we did have basically the same thing, very low volatility for a while, a quick move to the upside with, a not, kind of like a lackluster downside move. I mean, this, I believe, was also like a 25% move, or sorry, not 25, but 22% move. Again, we saw the same thing over here, rather lackluster, definitely disappointing if you were looking for like a major downside move. But ultimately, this one did go back into a contraction phase on a higher low. And the rest was history. I mean, that was, preceding this humongous move over here. So do we see a repeat over here? Perhaps yes. If we are going to see a repeat, it probably does still take some time, decently into August, I would imagine. But there's that now. And this is starting to shape up to be a really important higher low here as well. Anyways, moving on from there, I do want to once again revisit the HPDRO signal that we were speaking about over this weekend and the past week. And it is right here. We can see that the HPDRO, if I put back all my drawing tools, hit a critical level that, if hit in bull markets, in prior bull markets, has always indicated a major low. In fact, in many cases, a macro low. In a bear market, it was actually a continuation point for like severe dumps. So again, one of the big questions we've been asking ourselves in the past week is like, look, if you believe that this is long-term a bullish market, which, is the general view on this channel, that's probably an opportunity. In bear markets, yeah, it's an opportunity to sell and get the fuck out. But in bull markets, as you can see, in 2020 and especially 2017 over here, and even prior to that as well, these were major higher lows before, again, tremendous continuation, amazing, massive. So perhaps we have the same thing going on over here with HPDRV now going into another contraction phase, which, is going to imply that wherever the median is going to be a natural magnet for price action. Now, of course, I don't think it's going to just zoom to there exactly from this, closure, and this will naturally come down. But as of right now, it's, above 70,000 bucks. So I imagine in the coming week or two, it'll come down to like mid 60s. And then we get to play the game of looking at this as one massive consolidation. And again, more likely to get continuation than not. Anyways, okay, so we've got that. Just checking my notes over here. Okay, great. Let's get rid of this. Or actually, no. We definitely need this right now. Let's get rid of these. Go to the weekly view for the HPDR. And we can see the weekly has opened up with some very interesting ranges going on right here. The 38.2 level is very close to our current high of the week thus far at 63,500. If you see Bitcoin start to close back above that region, I would start to feel very, very confident that not only is this like the next major low, like this is a macro low. And while Bitcoin might, could potentially revisit low $60,000, again, it's going to be an opportunity, or very likely to be an opportunity is what I should say. So do be aware of that. 5-day time frame, I think, is kind of the same thing right here as well. About to pop back in. Yes, indeed. Still about 3.5 days left to go. And then, of course, if we get rid of all of this and we just do a nice little fib draw here, we can see the 50% level actually, coming in actually pretty much where price action is currently at right now. So, a lot of things are going to switch around here to being, they have been switching around, but you're going to see like the very high term time frame stuff to switch around as well. Doing exactly what he needs to do for the BULAs at the exact right time. So to me, this is, again, becoming more and more long-term interesting. And I know things, like we said on this channel, have been very boring the past few weeks, but important things do happen during these boring times. And the next sort of major signal that I'm waiting for, that maybe I'll do tomorrow's video on, is the hash rip and signal. Because once that happens, for me, that'll be like, it's, of course, you can never be 100% certain, but extreme, 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 extreme. You know, at the end of the day, there's always gonna be risk with some positions. It's just, what are you comfortable with? So anyways, that's what I'm waiting for on my end. And other than that, you know, as I've been saying on this over the past few weeks, you know, have been having some buys down here, and that's just, it is what it is. Just let it do its thing. Anyways, I think I have hit just about all of the notes that I wanted to hit for today. We'll see how this evolves into tomorrow. Again, just looking at the daily setup right here. It was a very, very simplistic setup that we went over in a video on last Saturday during one of the strategy videos. It's just basically open along on Monday, close it at 10 a.m. UTC Tuesday, and then, well, these statistics over here could potentially be yours. So see how that one evolves into Tuesday, and then we'll pick up where we left off. And yeah, I think that's a good place for me to sign off. As always, I want to wish you the best. Take care, much love. And seriously, like, what are your state recommendations for the Americans out there? We will maybe consider it. So all good. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.